So Donald Trump basically admitted this week that a lot of the things that he's been doing, a lot of the policies, a lot of the executive orders that he's been signing off on was all made with the intention of getting black people back into the field. It was made with the intention of getting black people back into the field. So my good sis J Doll says she wants to see the clip. She said, let me see the clip. Ask and you shall receive.
Back to their country with a pass back in legally, and we're doing things that are very difficult to do and very complex, but it works really well. We're sending them back, and then they're schooling, they're learning, they're coming in legally. We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it? These are very, in many ways, they're very, very special people.
All right, so on Tuesday, Donald Trump made an appearance, right, on CNBC's Squawk Box. And on that platform, he actually made a lot of commentary in regards to the situation with the deportations, migrant workers, the state of America's agriculture, and he made comments on inner city people not doing farm work. I want you to always remember that anytime that they mention the words inner city people, inner city communities, inner city neighborhoods, that's black. That's code for black, blackity black, okay? Black people. And it is because of that exact commentary that it reconfirms for me, okay? Not confirms, but reconfirms, meaning that I already knew. But it reconfirms that the plan from the very beginning with these executive orders, right, was to further destabilize black communities, further destabilize poor communities, but black mainly, so that you could put pressure on these communities so that you could get them to go back into the field, right? And then once you get them back in the field, bingo, you've made America great again. Modernize slavery. But black people said, fuck you and this little game that you want to play. Since we are the most valuable player on the scoreboard, we will remove ourselves and let's see if this game is still going to continue. And that's in fact what we're seeing right now. Donald Trump thought that by forcing all of these other people out, taking away our Medicaid, doing all of these things to further destabilize our community, that we would conform, that we would just do what he wants us to do, what the whites of this world, what white supremacy wants us to do. But black people decided to pull a Uno reverse and they did nothing, which is something that they're not used to black people doing. They're used to black people having this spirit of rebellion, having this spirit of revolution. But instead, black people decided that, you know what, I'm going to preserve my energy for me and my people, but I'm also going to remove myself from this game entirely. And now everything is starting to crumble. The way that the America agriculture is taking a huge hit right now because of Donald Trump and his deportations. Like, I don't think that you understand how much America survives off of the labor of undocumented workers. And when I say y'all, I mean all the other races. Black people knew, because black people were telling you. They told you, don't do this. Don't do this, because we're not going back in the field. Don't do this, but y'all didn't listen. And just to put into retrospect of how important undocumented migrant workers are to the agriculture economy here in America, the U.S. Department of Agriculture reports that roughly 42% of crop workers are undocumented, with nearly 70% being foreign-born. This labor is essential in states like California and Texas, where up to 80% of farm workers lack legal status.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. It's Ndagere here. Thanks for clicking on today's video. This is quite interesting. I mean, it's actually sad, but also interesting how Trump would expect like black people to be like going back in the fields. I've shared videos where really my people have been rebellious, especially in these times of today where Trump has really been doing the most by trying to trigger black people to mostly go on the streets or go back to the places they actually fought to go away from. This also includes going back in the fields, because with these mass deportations that have been going on with the illegals, as they call them, aliens, or people being deported or being raided like animals, as I say all the time, it's always been something to probably like make black people think like, hey, since there is like opportunities now, we can go and get on these jobs and like go and work in these places. And it's not been something that has been happening. So now Trump is crashing out. He's like regretting signing policies that are now affecting his country, especially when it comes to the white farmers or the farms, because we all know how agriculture is very important when it comes to any country's economy. You can't do anything without food, right? You can't, like, food is something that we need to move life, and if it is affected, there is nothing that really matters. Money can't also, solve that issue. And now Trump is like, hey, the people in the inner circle, as black people are saying, that means black people, they are not taking on these jobs. I think I might have been, or I might have gone too far by kicking out these people that would actually come in and work for cheap or even for free, just for them to stay here in our country. And I don't even think these people are working for free or staying for free, because they pay taxes as well. They buy things, they invest, they help in the economy. And we all know, like, America was built on immigration or immigrants. Like, they literally built that place. So I think he thought, like, chasing them away is going to bring in black people and, make them go back in the sun and work in these shitty jobs, which is clearly not happening. So he's backtracking. He's literally backtracking. And I love this for my people. Like, this is clearly what I've been sharing every single day. When black people put in effort in anything, like now it's been silenced, we can clearly see how America cannot function, because they are kicking out immigrants, and black people are not involving themselves in any situation. The economy is crashing. So these are really quite interesting times. This man is, he's regretting everything he's been doing. I mean, he signed things in January. It's now August, and it's getting messier and messier every single day. His billionaire friends are probably losing money, I guess. He's, people are losing jobs, losing farms, losing the economy. Like, they can't stand it, so they have to look for ways on how to solve it. And what better way than to revoke the policies that he's been putting in place? So I guess the immigrants should be happy, like, now America is saying that you can't survive without them. So that speaks volumes. Guys, listen to what a lot of black people are saying about this whole thing, trying to put or take back black people in the fields. Come back, let me know your thoughts on it.
Y'all, so apparently the Republicans thought if they got rid of the illegals and they put more financial pressure on the black communities and the people of color that are American citizens, that we would want to go in the fields and we would want to, basically, that we would want to do the work that the previous citizens that hadn't yet to obtain their citizenship would do. Now, hear me out. When the produce immediately changed, at first I was a little annoyed. I live in Arizona for perspective. So yeah, they here. They out here for real. And it hit us immediately. Do you hear me? When the produce went bad, at first, and not bad, but like it just was, you could tell. Like, you can tell the difference. At first I was a little annoyed, but then I sat back and was like, no, actually, no, for real. That's what they need. They need to see that. And it wasn't just the produce. That's the crazy part. It was the produce and so much other shit that immediately like came like a wave through Arizona. They needed that wake-up call. I've been staring at a house that has been taking upwards of at least, I want to say 7-8 months to finish. Before they left, I used to watch, because this is where I live at, the whole strip is being developed. I watched them complete an entire development in under a year. I watched them complete an entire development in under a year. For perspective, it's a big ass development too. The entire development was done in under a year. There are houses on this strip in the past 6 months, they just been sitting. I had to stand still. Crickets, where y'all at? When the produce went bad, I was annoyed at first, but then I said, no, they need this wake-up call. They need to know the contribution, citizenship or not, that these people actually make to this country. They need to understand that a land that was already built off of stolen land does not give you the right to kick people out when their ancestors were indigenous to this land. You need to understand the contribution and the amount of work that they did the jobs you didn't want to do, that I don't want to do on a daily basis. You also need to understand their contribution. Now, Trump wants to bring them back legally because he's like, Them niggas is not trying to get out there in the sun, and they not trying to do none of that work, and not. Why? So you can treat us 10 times worse? You gonna have to pay to play, baby. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. Y'all humiliated them in front of the whole world in the nastiest, most vicious ways. You gonna have to pay them people to come back here. Oh, and just so you know, our produce has increased. So I know they let some of y'all back in. I know they let some of them back in. Don't lie. I know they pushed some of them applications through and was like, listen, when can you clock back in? Okay? Everything's going to shit. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is. You need to issue a very public apology. You need to offer them something. Offer them something. Offer them something. Excluding the Cubans that was like, oh my God, I vote for Donald Trump. Lead them out. They wasn't doing no work, no way. They wasn't doing no work, no motherfucking way. They think that they white. Lead them out. But yeah, y'all, Donald Trump said that because the black people don't want to do the jobs that the illegal citizens that they deported, because they don't want to do those jobs, they gonna have to let some people back in. Y'all, they built alligator Alcatraz without even so much as thinking about. And now that I think about it, I don't think that they're gonna let them back in without putting them through like a Squid Games kind of situation. Let me know what y'all think. Am I the only one that's Clark and T? Because you just built alligator Alcatraz. And there has been a 60-minute video about you dumping people's bodies in the ocean and bodies washing up along the shore. So, I don't know. Maybe you should have thought this one through.
Donald Trump has backtracked, and he has essentially admitted that we need immigrants here in the United States of America. Okay, so in a press conference, this man says, y'all, racism is so expensive. This man says, basically that farmers are suffering because they don't have workers, and people in the inner city are not going to take those jobs. And we know how to dissect what he said. Essentially what he's saying is, they marketed their campaign as, oh, we're taking back our jobs, and they thought the legal people of color were going to go take those jobs. He essentially said, the black and brown people in the inner city are not going to take those farm jobs. No. And those undocumented immigrants who are working those jobs, that was their only option to make money in this country. They left, some of them left dangerous countries. They wanted better lives for their children, better education. They just wanted a better life overall. And so they took what they could. And those jobs were modern day slavery, okay? Those people were freaking working 7 days a week, 10-hour days for like $10 an hour in the hot sun, picking fruit. And you thought those people aren't doing that because they think that that's a good pay. And you thought, people who are legal citizens were gonna go do that. You could make more money at McDonald's or fast food. I would join the military before I did that, to be honest. And what I've peeped about these businesses that used to employ undocumented workers, like farmers, some construction companies, other small businesses, they can't even afford to pay more than what they were paying. Y'all can't even afford to pay really a livable wage, a wage that, somebody who is a citizen would accept for the type of work that you're asking for, but you voted against your own interest. I hope that, all of these undocumented immigrants who are going to make their way back, I hope they realize you have power. And right now, the power is in your hands. And don't go back for them pennies, okay? You have a lot of leverage right now. And y'all, like I said, being racist is so expensive.
Donald Trump signed off on a lot of these executive orders back in January. It is now August, and in between that time, he has done a parade of chaotic shit, trying to put pressure on the black community, but the black community has refused to fold. They have not folded. And it's not just the black community, but the legal Hispanic community here, the legal Latinos here, the Browns, and every other race that sees what this administration has been trying to do from the very beginning. They have not folded. And because of that, everything that he has signed off on in January is starting to bite him in the ass in August. And to all of you people out there that had so much to say in regards to the black community and the 92% and them actually deciding to stand down and not participate, to not get involved, to protect their peace, all of the critiques that you had on their decision, let this be your example. Let this be your primary example as to why you should stay the fuck out of black people business. Stay the fuck out of black people business. You had so much to say in regards to our decision and wanting to stand the fuck back and deciding to remove ourselves from this entire game altogether, right? Now, you see that black people actually knew what the fuck they were doing. They knew what the fuck they were doing. They told you were going to need these people because they weren't doing it anymore. They told you they wasn't going to do it anymore. You still got rid of them people. You still got rid of the migrants. You still did and went through with the mass deportations, and now you guys want food. But you thought that the black people was going to get into the field. No, they wasn't going to do it. They wasn't going to do it. They wasn't going to do it. And now you see why they decided from the very beginning, oh, I see how this is going to play out. Exit stage left.
Hey guys, it's Leash. Listen, your president, not mine, has decided that he is going to reverse this whole deportation situation and is suggesting that people come back to America to work these farms and everything. Not saying sorry, not acknowledging that what he did was probably one of the most horrific things you could do to people and families, children, tearing families apart or anything. No, he is basically saying that, the farmers here need help. And so they're going to educate them, get them legally sent back to this country to do the work that he thought the folks in the inner city would have been able to do. Clearly, if you read between those lines, he thought that black people were going to get out in these fields and do the work that the folks that he deported would have done. And to that I say, sir, you are so detached from the people that it is pathetic at this point. How in the hell did you think that black people were going to get in the fields and do that work? Like, is anyone like consulting with you? I'm being so serious, y'all, because it's like, sir, most black people are established in some way, which speaks to the lack of understanding and knowledge and whatever else you want to say as it relates to black people and understanding the progression of black people in this country. Not everybody's waiting for some handout and, oh yeah, I'll go work those fields. Like, you're smoking something, sir. And it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, that's your president. He's a hot mess. And yeah.
To all the people Trump deported, y'all should be proud. Because Trump just said on Fox Live and said the quiet part out loud. To all the people Trump deported, y'all should be proud because Trump just said on Fox Live and said the quiet part out loud. Trump just said, I kicked all of them out too fast. We thought once we kicked them out, all the people in urban communities, aka black people, was going to get back in these fields. Trump, what the hell you thought this was? Selma? Hell no, we ain't doing that. Nigga, we'll sell t-shirts on our truck before we do that. I hope that wasn't part of the game plan originally. Trump said, listen, we got to get some of the people that we kicked out of the country back. We got to get them back legally. We'll give them their papers and all. We ain't got no damn farmers. You didn't think about this before you kicked them out? Listen, the last people who was doing that, their last name was Tubman and shit like that. We ain't into that no more. We got black businesses. We'll figure it out here. Okay, we'll buy a couple stamps. We ain't doing that. Listen, to all the African people, Haitian, Spanish, whoever got kicked out of the country, even people who was doing good in their country in England and British people, listen, he needs y'all back. He ain't think about it. This is your time to get your paperwork together and come back legally so that way nobody can mess with y'all for generations to come, okay? Trump said, listen, I thought about it. I kicked y'all out, but our economy wasn't ready for that. The economy said, oh, wait a minute, nigga. Oh, this ain't that type of party, okay? So now he's working on getting them back. Now, Trump did say some wild stuff about, he asked some farmers, what happened if they back break. I'm not even repeating that whole joke because it's kind of crazy. But Trump, I don't think nobody proofread what he got to say. I don't think he read none of the stuff that they tell him to say. I think he just say whatever come to mind. Listen, Trump said he got to get the illegals back so they can be legal, okay? I'm just here to bring y'all the news. I'm just the messenger.
As you've seen the video, that is what people have to say about this whole situation. And I just find it funny that, this man was put in power and everything he's been doing has been really mostly to trigger black people and not to help his economy or his people, which clearly, tells that the American Make America Great is mostly to suppress black people. Like, they're mostly concentrated on the black people than their own selves, which is ridiculous. Because in 2025, really, you're going to be wanting to put people that fought and put their bodies up to get away from situations for them to now, like, go back there willingly because you feel like the policies you're putting are to affect them. That's wild. That's wild. I really can't stand, especially when I come on the internet and I see them people crying on, why is he doing this? Why is he like putting these policies? They are hurting us. Yeah, they are, because he thought they would go the other way to hurt, yeah, people that look like this. But instead, it's turning around and hurting your businesses, because now you know your farms cannot function without the Latinos. I shared a video of a white man that was stressed because he got to find out his equipments that he uses don't come from America. He doesn't source them from America. So Make America Great products is also a scam. Like, you guys are just realizing, hey, we actually cannot survive without other groups of people, and that's like a boomer to your heads. It's wild. Like, in 2025, for a palm person to come on here and cry about Trump policies when you voted for him, that's insanity. That's insanity. And him, as the president that you voted for, to now want to back Trump because he wanted to see a group of people go back in situations that they fought to get away from, is insane. It's actually funny. It's actually funny. So I really, really love that a lot of palm people are realizing the world does not revolve around them, and they've never built, I don't want to curse, but I think they're now realizing like they've never built anything. They've never built anything, because if they did, they would not be stressed about anything. If you guys have been the best at everything, why are you crying that your farms are empty? Get your fellow people that are complaining that there's no more jobs, let them go and work in those fields. Why aren't they taking on those jobs? You know why? Because they are the lazy ones. They are the ones that are used to be worked for and not working. Yeah, you guys are the ones that are lazy and not used to really grinding, but profiting off of other people's efforts. And now that that is being taken away from your hands, your businesses cannot stand. Nothing is running anymore. We are seeing how the economy is crashing, how your businesses are losing, how you're losing benefits, because everything has been to benefit you. And now the man that you voted for is taking that all away. No more privilege. And now you're realizing, oh, when the system is, changed, we all lose. And there's no way to make America great again, because those inner people in that inner circle, as you call them, are not willing, and they're never ever going to be willing to go and slave away from the things our ancestors, their ancestors, fought to get away from. That should sit in the heads of them people. And I love how they are saying now that immigrants are special. Them people don't see other groups of people as human, only when it's beneficial to them. And we are clearly seeing it. I mean, their man is exposing everything. So we can see the true picture of what America stands for. Slavery, capitalism, and the rich stepping on the poor. That's what it is. That's what it is. Guys, that is it for me in today's video. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. And as the last question, are my people really willing to go back and work on those fields or work in those cheap jobs? I mean, let me know. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm always posting. I will see you in another video. Bye.